Greetings from Southern Asia Division, Stewardship Department. Despite pandemic, stewardship promotional work has been carried out throughout the 7 unions and 3 attached fields without any difficulties through Zoom. COVID has affected every single believer of our church as they have lost jobs, loved ones, and business. Hence, percentage of offerings and tithes received by the union has gone to an all-time low. Some unions were receiving most of their tithes and offerings from schools and other institutions. Since the schools were closed, only 50% of tithes and offerings were received. Considering the situation, the unions have been paying only half the salary to their workers. People usually have the practice of placing offering in person in the offering plate or bag during the divine service. Hence, online giving was a challenge, but through workshops and motivations, 40% of the offerings were received through online payment. As the situation improved, tithes and offerings also increased. Schools and churches are open, hence, Southern Asia Division has seen an upward growth in membership, churches, tithes and offerings.
We have schools, hospitals and churches with a total membership of 132,000. In the early days, Christianity was firmly established in South India, so the members are very faithful and generous in giving their tithes and offerings. They are supporting the church in a remarkable way for many years. In addition to offerings, they also provide funds for church constructions and other evangelistic meetings. COVID-19 has affected every single person as they lost their jobs and faced severe loss in businesses. This affected the percentage of offerings received by the union as it decreased rapidly. The union was receiving majority of offerings from our institutions. Since the schools are closed, only 50% of offerings are received. Their income has affected, and so in return, they couldn't fully support the church. Analyzing the situation, the union officers and department directors under the leadership of Pastor Daniel Devadas called for a meeting to encourage the members to give offerings in these trying times. A strategy was formulated, and because it was rightly implemented, all the church expenses were taken care by our union itself. During this time, the union even built churches and purchased properties. There were 7 strategies that we implemented. Strategy 1. Online giving. People in our culture have the practice of giving offerings by their own hands in the church. They are only satisfied if it is given by themselves. So we face difficulties in asking them to give offerings online. But through the encouragement and guidance of leaders, 40% of offerings were received online. Second strategy, offering box. Due to the lockdown, Sabbath service are conducted in various online platforms. In many churches, the members were requested to have offering box at home. When the pastor calls for offering during the online service, the members would place offering in their respective boxes at home. Third strategy, giving in the hands of pastor. Pastors were requested to go to church on Sabbath. The members went to church by following all the health guidelines and gave their offerings in the hand of the pastor. Vyasapadi is located in the northern part of Chennai, where mostly lower middle class communities live. The members of our church in Vyasapadi are mostly daily laborers, so Pastor Johnson Yam, the church pastor, made himself available at the appointed time to collect the offerings. This method helped them to receive rupees 1,10,000 offering every month, that is $1,400. Fourth strategy, prayer box offering. Majority of members live close to the church. During lockdown, they would walk to the church for prayer and drop offerings along with their prayer request in the prayer box. The offering covers were kept near the prayer request box. The announcement were made in the Zoom meetings by the treasurer of the church to the members. This method is being followed in Kodambakkam Church, where Mr. Arun, the treasurer, collected the offering every day and would send the messages to all the tithe payers. Fifth strategy, pastor visiting house. Some members live far from the church, so they want to give their offering to the pastor. So the pastor went to their houses to collect the tithes and offerings. Sixth strategy, school offerings. The major portion of offerings were coming from the schools, so we conducted revival meetings, devotional meetings for the school teachers, staffs and the administrators. Encouraging messages were given to the workers of the school to return their offerings. The local unit leaders collected the offerings from their respective schools. Seventh and the final strategy, farmers offering. 40% of our farmers are living in villages and are farmers. We had good rain during the lockdown, which was a great blessing to their farming work. Few farmers gave rice, wheat and other things as offering, and others sold their products and returned their offerings. Pastor Soundarnayagam, president of Viluppuram section, encouraged them through phone and asked the pastor to go to their villages to collect the offerings. There are 4,000 villages in his territory, so this was a very successful method to get offerings. The Lord has been so merciful. We continue to believe the Lord will bless us. Thank you for watching. God bless you all.